Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do a collective for today. Today is Wednesday, April 23rd, 2025. A big shout out to my dad. It is his 69th birthday. And yes, I will be saying this on every video until I'm done making videos for the day. You can follow me on the book, the talk, the tube, the lemonade, the blue sky social, the fan base, the Insta, the Pinterest, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, fabulous. Whatever does not, please just leave it on the table for someone else. We don't want you taking on energy that wasn't meant for you. Okay, I just realized like my eyes. I went to the eye doctor and I had her dilate them, and I mean they're getting better, but like to me they seem back to normal, but they don't look normal. Oh well. Ah, well. We got one on the table. Oh, sorry. We are using the Legends of All Hallows Eve from La Bellanima 13. I think I've told you guys Etsy, and I don't think she has this deck, but you can always go look. La Bellanima 13. We got two on the table. If you hear noise in the background, it's probably the TV. I put on the sound machine. I swear to God, every time I go to the eye doctor, it's like hanging out with my soul tribe. It really is. I really love Dr. Carla and the ladies in the office. I can't even with these ladies. And my friend from work is the one that recommended them to me. Oh my God, I love them. I love her for recommending them. Whew, we got 5 on the table. Seven on the table. Let's do 2 more shuffles. We got 8 with the bottom of the deck. I'm going to set this over here on the windowsill. We've got Hunger, Inseparable, Gomez and Morticia, Hustler, Searching, Disappointed, Conversation, Black Widow, and bottom of the deck, Announcement. So, feminine, masculine, take how it resonates. Black Widow could be male or female. Doesn't really matter. I know most people would associate it with a feminine energy, but take how it resonates for you. So someone was in a relationship with someone that they would consider a black widow. Again, it doesn't matter. Two men, two women, a man, a woman, a they, it doesn't matter. Alien, I don't care. This is someone that the sex was great, right? The passion was there, okay? There was a magnetic pull, right? They couldn't stay away from each other. One was the hustler, one was the black widow. Says the same thing. Marrying for money, financial focus. Like both of them probably work together. Or if they didn't work together, like they worked side by side doing their own thing, but the main focus for them is money. Because what is money? Money is power, money is status, right? It very much gives off like two people kind of obsessed with status. I don't really want to say obsessed, but yeah, I guess. I mean, when you put that much stock into money, I guess, yes. Now, you can take how it resonates. It doesn't matter. One of these people or both of them were left wanting. Very disappointed in what they had going on for themselves, their life circumstances, etc. And because I feel like there's really no masculine feminine definition here, like when you look at the cards, you would say, oh, the masculine, the hustler, wants away from the black widow. Like they're going to have a conversation with them. They're going to put them on blast. Like we're done here. But because it doesn't really matter, this is I mean, you could be a part of this couple, but take how it resonates. It could be this black widow going to this hustler and saying, hey, like, I'm done. Like, I'm done with this. Either way, or again, it could be a mutual breakup. Either way, there's some type of discussion here between the two of them about breaking up because either one of them wants to break up or they both want to break up because there's dissatisfaction here. Like someone or both of them is realizing, okay, maybe money isn't everything. And even though like the passion is there any other connection? Like is there anything else that holds us together? You know, if they don't own anything together, you know, if they each have their own business, if they don't live together or they don't own property together, if they don't have children together. I mean, technically, even if they did have children, what if you have older children? Are those older children going to make you want to stay married? Probably not. There is definitely more because of the cards. Like one is probably more geared towards making the money and one of these people is more geared towards living off the person that makes the money. But at the same time, it's really just two people that are all about money, all about the sex, and again, all about some type of status. It's kind of like people always looking for like the next new status symbol, you know? I don't I don't know what that would be current day, like cuz I don't think about shit like that. It's funny because when I was a kid and, you know, as a kid you dream about like winning the lottery or coming into money, right? And being able to buy whatever you want. And I think it was drilled into me from a young age, like, oh, if you get money, like you're gonna buy a mansion and you're gonna buy like 10 cars and you're gonna pimp it out, you know, like Like you're just going to live an extravagant lifestyle. And the funny thing is now when I think about winning the lottery, I think about donating a lot of it. I think about just buying like a big ass parcel of land, putting a couple houses on there, a couple barns on there, kind of create like a homestead, get some farm animals, take in stray cats and dogs that need a home, and just probably getting a boat, putting on Lake Michigan, like going fishing every day and writing, just devoting my life to writing and doing this because this is what I love. And whatever money's left, just throwing it in the mattress and living off of it, for the rest of my days. What's the harm in that? And all of that takes startup cost, obviously, so it's going to be expensive at first. But when you talk about, like living off the land, fishing for your dinner, things like that, like just living more simply at some point. Getting a couple greenhouses, having a year-round garden, your own vegetables, your own fruit. You know how many pesticides you used or not. You knew where it was grown and you feel comfortable eating it. And it's funny because I was just talking to a friend about this a few minutes ago, and I said, that I ate a salad and some cottage cheese for lunch. Pardon me. And for dinner, I'm just going to have my leftover enchiladas from Easter that I had with my dad. And I had 4 eggs this morning for breakfast. Yeah, I said 4 eggs. And I had some grits. And that was it. Well, and I had my coffee that my friend got me complimentary for giving her a lift to work, her and her nephew. That's it. That's all I ate all day. And it's funny because I was just telling this friend, I said, when I'm at home, like I don't eat as much. Like there's nothing, like I don't keep a lot of sugary stuff in the house. I don't keep a lot of like potato chips and crap like that. I have like cheese, string cheese. I have like little 100-calorie nut packs. I have my cottage cheese. I have a jar of peanut butter. Like that's it. Those are my snacks. I don't usually have like a lot of candy or cakes or cookies and potato chips and Doritos and stuff with chemicals, and like I try and stay away from that as much as possible. And when I'm at home I can do that. But when I'm at work, I can't. Like I have to bring snacks. Sometimes I buy snacks there that aren't healthy. But I can imagine having money to stay home, not have to go to work, being able to devote time to living a healthier lifestyle. That's part of the other problem. Like, we don't have time to be healthy. That's effort. A lot of people don't want to or can't put in the time for that. It's sad, but true. Even if I didn't buy land and start a garden and do a greenhouse all year long, even if I won the lotto and I just go to the grocery store every day and buy fresh vegetables and not really care that it costs me 10 or 20 bucks, that's a gift. Like that would be the greatest gift. And I would gladly eat those vegetables. You know what I mean? And how many other people, how many families out there wish they could do that they had money to live like that and eat like that? Because unfortunately, it still holds true. The cheapest foods that we have to eat are the shittiest. Stuff with chemicals and shit in them. Anyway, that's the only time I ever really think about money and what it could do for me. and really what I can do for others with it. I don't really think that these two are focused on philanthropy. I mean, they could give money or help out people every now and then, but it just seems like they're very much in it for themselves. I'm getting a weird phone call from California. Don't know. One or both of these people is very it's funny because the searching card says lost and confused. I don't really think they're lost and confused. I think they knew exactly where they were and what they were doing and where it was going to take them. And I think they're just realizing like they made some poor choices. Whether that be like choosing each other to be with, to work with, or whether that just means like focusing on money, focusing on materialism instead of like more of a naturalistic is that a word, naturalism, instead of a much more serene lifestyle. How about we say it like that? And it's funny because when I look at this disappointed card, it says unmet expectations. I don't even think it's technically unmet expectations for the couple, the people as a couple, the union, the marriage, quote unquote, if you will. I think it's more unmet expectations for each of these individuals for themselves. Like, why did I think getting a job as a VP at a Fortune 500 company and making $1 million a year, why did I think that was the end all be all when there's so much out there to experience instead of sitting behind a desk all day in a high rise in New York City, for 60, 70 hours a week? Is that really worth $1 million? Only being able to go on vacation twice a year, see your spouse, for a couple hours a week, your kids for a couple hours a week. And granted, I'm just giving an example, but would you take that $1 million salary to live that life, to live that existence? Because I got to be honest, I fucking would not. Absolutely hell no, I would not. I've talked to you guys before about where I work. Our lead from last year, who was our lead for about 2 years, applied for a promotion, applied for a supervisor position, and he got it. And when he got it, his position opened, right? And all these guys are like, oh, like, we're going to apply, we're going to apply. And I had like 10, 12 people come up to me in our department and say, hey, are you going to apply? Like, we want you to apply. No, I was just thinking about this earlier today. Like, I spent 16 years in retail management. I had my fun running a team and running a store and doing everything. And granted, at the time, the company I was working for, I got paid shit. I got paid nothing, as most of us did at that company, and probably still do, unfortunately. Now, if I applied for management where I work and got it and started working my way up, they make a hell of a lot more where I work now in the warehouse, in the medical industry, than I would if I went back to being a retail manager, especially for the company I used to work for Fannie Mae Candies. The pay is shit there. It always was, whether you were just an associate or a manager. But where I work now, it's pretty damn good. The thing is I already did that. I already spent all those years working 60-hour work weeks, doing overtime and not getting paid, like, no, I'm good. I'm done. I don't need that. But Kim, you could make $80,000 a year. But Kim, you could make $120,000 a year. I don't care. I seriously don't care. It's not worth it to me. It's not worth my time, my energy. And to try and work myself up in a company now, like I did back then, it's a shame that I didn't get involved with this company when I was younger. The thing is when I was younger, I would have never got in there. I can't tell you how many times I applied when I was in my 20s. And I was always told, oh, you got no experience? No, we don't want you. The funny thing is when I did get hired there finally, I had no experience. But they were becoming desperate for people, I'm assuming, and they hired me. And the thing is I really do love it there, and I love the people there. But to spend my time there for God knows how long every week, for however many years, until I move up to supervisor. And even as a supervisor, you still have to spend time there. 80,000, 100,000, 150, it doesn't matter. It's not worth it to me. Whoever these people are, they're realizing like maybe this was not the best path for me. Maybe these weren't the best choices to make. Maybe what I thought was better for me really worked against me. And I fully believe in this reading, one of these people is going to the other to talk about ending this connection. Because to me, with the announcement card put on blast, I think this is two people that are going to have a discussion, and they're both going to not be very happy with each other. Because the one is going to want to release, and the other one is going to want to hold on. I just heard for dear life, last resort, last call. And there's nothing here to say, like, what happens after the fact. But I will say this, when you look at the Black Widow card, marrying for money, and it doesn't matter, man, woman, it doesn't matter. Whether this is the one that wants out or this is the one that wants to hold everything together, this is someone that would not play fair. This is someone that would fight dirty. And I know, like, when you think of like a hustler, you're not really thinking positive vibes. But in this instance, it's a little bit more positive than this. Whoever this is. Because this is someone that's just like this. Like I said, this is someone that's going to play dirty to hold on to somebody, like blackmail, something like that. And I think that's partially where the put on blast is going to come from. Because let's say this hustler goes to this Black Widow and says, I'm sorry, but like this isn't going where I thought it was going to go. And my perception of life is changing and what I want for myself. So I just want out. Like, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. I don't want to be in a connection. They're telling this person the truth. They're putting them on notice, like, I'm leaving. But this Black Widow is going to turn around and put them on blast and be like, bitch, I got all your secrets. I know all your deep, dark, hoodoo, voodoo BS. Like, you're not going anywhere, or I'm going to put that shit on every social media site there is. And good luck explaining to your friends and family what you've done in your past. It's like someone saying, fuck you, I'm going to do you one better. You think you're going to leave? I'm going to make it so damn hard for you to leave. The sad thing is why would you do that? Why would you do that to someone? If they're not happy being there of their own free will, they're not going to be happy they're chained to your side, right? They're not. I wouldn't want a person to stay because they felt like they had to, because they felt like they had no choice. Like, I want people to be with me because they love me, because they care for me, because they adore me, whatever, like, you like me, we get along, we have things in common. I don't want you to stay with me because I threatened to tell, your wife that you had an affair with me, or your husband that, you cheated on him. You know what I mean? Like what is the point of that? Like, where does that get you? That doesn't get you anywhere. Nowhere positive, that's for sure. That doesn't get you any good karma. It doesn't matter, because whoever wants to leave in the end is going to have to figure out what they're willing to live with. Are they willing to spend the rest of their life with this person knowing that they're extremely unhappy? Or are they willing to put up with some type of truth coming out about themselves that in the end, like, who's going to give a shit anyway? Unless you hurt yourself or somebody else, who cares about this big dark secret? You're a porn star. You stole money like 20 years ago. You accidentally killed your cat. You ran it over. Like, I mean, tell me what secret is worth keeping yourself in a connection where you are extremely unhappy for the rest of your life. Like, is there the possibility you could go to jail for something? Because, in all honesty, at some point, this person might rather be in jail than be with this other person. And I also have to say, when you have one person that doesn't want to be there, and you have one person that knows that other person doesn't want to be there, that connection is broken. That connection is already done. Like, the trust is gone, the faith in the relationship is gone. If there was ever any real love, that is gone. Like, this is just a voided shell. And again, why would you want to hang on to that? I'm going to leave it there. I hope it resonated for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you found it entertaining. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.